to The Verdict here on Channels Television. It's our pleasure to have you back in our studios for the election coverage of 2019's general polls. And as you've been hearing all day today, 29 states are electing governors, 36 states are electing members of the state houses of assembly, and then, of course, the Federal Capital Territory is electing its area councils. That's right. Now, the polls opened at different times, so obviously we're at different places in terms of when the results are going to come out and collation. So in some areas, they've just gone to the polls, like in
many areas around
exactly about 3:30
and all that.
And we'll do that thereabout. And then for some, collation has started, counting has started, but we're going to be at it until we have a result of who is going to win in the 29 states that Ladi was talking about earlier.
Indeed. Welcome back to the studio. Now, talking about different areas studying at different, it sounds like time zones around the world. But I'd like to talk to you about you engaging with us. Our Twitter handles are out there, but there are specific hashtags we'd like you to use. Hashtag The Verdict, hashtag 2019 elections. We'd like you to let us know what you think of the elections, and hashtag I voted. And earlier on, we talked about you putting up something like a poster, my hashtag, my expectation from those that would be elected at the end of today. But then also you can watch us wherever you are. We're live on YouTube, we're live on all the platforms, but especially on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, that way you get updates constantly as they come in. So this is us asking you to engage with us. Send us pictures, send us text, send us videos of what's happening around you. Indeed, be a citizen's journalist.
Of course, and be safe. Make sure you're safe while you're doing. Well, a lot of people said to me, well, is it safe for me to film? And I said, make sure you're safe while you do it, so that you're in one piece when you send it to us. Yeah.
We're not talking to you, in unfavorable circumstances.
That's right.
With you. Please, that's very, very, very important. Now, speaking about updates, speaking about knowing where to go and what's happening. Ijoma, you got?
Oh, yes. Let's go to Ilorin now. That's Kwara State. We have Lanre Lasisi standing by in Ilorin. Lanre?
Yes, we're still here at IGS, Ilorin Grammar School, monitoring the elections thus far. It's been going on steadily and peacefully, as we've observed here on ground. But I have with me here someone that came very early in the morning to vote, and he stayed through the process till this point where we have the results being collated, and the process is almost ending here at the polling unit level. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, you were here very early in the morning. How early?
I came here around 6 a.m. Unfortunately, I met the channels crew here as well. So we've been here since 6 a.m. We came, we arranged ourselves, we voted, and everything went on peacefully as expected.
How have you seen the process? How's the process been?
The process is very, very okay. The voters came out in large, they voted. The security agents, they were here present, all of them here, and everything went on very well, very well.
There were some issues with the card reader, I think, at some point.
Yeah, the card reader at 04 here, it started working probably a little bit late, and immediately the presiding officer called the attention from the IT guys from INEC, and probably 7 minutes, the IT man came and resolved it, and it started working perfectly. And ever since then, everything went on well.
Did you vote here during the presidential?
Yeah, I voted here as well.
Comparing the process then and now, how would you say?
What we noticed was probably, let me say, it's voters apathy, because we discovered most people did not come out as expected compared to the last election, which is the presidential and the senatorial election. But from the results they've been announcing so well, the results reflect what the voters want, what the electorate wants.
Okay, we're trying to avoid you coming into. Thank you very much. Well, you heard it there. He's been here since, and he's also tried to give us an understanding of how the elections went before and how it has gone now. I also have here with me an observer, a domestic observer, who also has been looking at the process since morning. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Can you tell us what your observations have been?
Well, compared to last election, my observation has been it's about 50% turnout that we've seen compared to what we saw.
50%
turnout of voters compared to what we saw during the presidential and senatorial voting process. Although the environment here is peaceful, the last election was peaceful, here too is peaceful. We start counting at 2, and some polling units, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 of them are finished as we speak, and the results are out.
Okay. Now, when you look at the whole process, from the arrival of the ad hoc staff, setting up, the going through the voting process for each voter, how would you say the process has gone?
Well, the presidential one had some issues, and we didn't start at about 8:30, but this one we started rightly on 8, which would have been learning curve from previous experiences gathered by the same crew that came to monitor this. So I think my advice to INEC would have been for subsequent election later in years to come, let them do mock display. So at least some 3 to 4, 5 days before election, and that will probably assist whoever is going to go INEC representative in various polling units.
Okay, what are you getting from other areas around?
Well, the same experience that we had there. At least I've gone around town for like about an hour. Not too many areas, not too many people came out to vote. Reasons are not clear as we speak, but it's no issues that is being reported, especially area that I've covered. And coupled with the fact that, well, I believe the impression is this would have been the best election for people to come out and vote, because you are going to select your House of Assembly member who is going to be your person representing you directly, and then you're going to select your governor that will be the one dictating the tune of how you want things to go and things like that. And here we are, people have probably taken that the past election is a done deal.
Okay, what about security? Because it's been something that a lot of people had worried about. You're going around town and your observation here, how's that?
Well, the security here is okay. There are policemen, there are army, welfare. I'm not sure it's like as it is here, because we have 6 polling units here. Maybe that's why the heavy presence of security. It's not like that everywhere I've been. You've probably been to one security person or the other, and people are probably just lining up in and voting. And I think one good thing that we notice even here, the voters' reader's card did perfectly well, in the exception of the one that had like about 15-20 minutes delay. And I guess aside from that, it was all well and good.
Thank you very much. Yes, well, you heard it there, a very comprehensive look at how the process has gone thus far. And what he said corroborates some of our own understanding of the elections in some areas and some areas in the state. We've also tried to find out if they've been having issues, and some of the reports we've had is the materials did not turn up. Well, they say enough materials did not turn up was not brought to the polling units in some areas, and some of the voters there resisted that and said they want the number that should be brought. So that delayed the proceeding and the process commencing as it should at some areas. But from what we understand, the ad hoc staff all arrived on time. The materials were on ground outside the issues of whether they were complete or not. We also had the issue of the card readers, which were addressed as quickly as possible. We've not really had a lot of issues with security. One of the few we heard had to do with some polling units, a few polling units where they had some disagreements, and the ad hoc staff had to be moved out till that issue was resolved. Then they returned to the polling unit. We also had some situations where there were disagreements that also made the place rowdy. Reinforcement of security officials had to be called, and when that was resolved, that was taken care of, and immediately voting commenced. So that's the outlook here. Collating, voting completed in some polling units here, still going on in some sites, but for now, everything is peaceful, everything is going as it should, and it's back to you in the studios.
All right, thanks a lot, Lanre, giving us an idea of how the process is going over there in Kwara State. I mean, talking about the fact that some materials were not enough, and perhaps that ties into what the INEC National Commissioner was saying yesterday, that the full complement of all the materials had not arrived at certain states. We don't know whether that's what caused it, but that's what we see for now.
Indeed.